You're listening to an InfoBlitz LLC podcast network production.
And welcome everyone to Sundays with Shai. And without further ado, here is the star of the show, Shai.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week and another episode of Sundays with Shai. Super excited to be here as always. So this week, kind of a heavy one. It's going to be real personal to me. So, disclaimer, first of all, if this isn't something you relate to, then basically take this as this is my story. Try not to ignore it, because I think that the more that we talk about this, the more that people will become comfortable and people will be able to help one another. So in this episode, I just want to kind of take you guys through my mental health journey. Last week, I talked about mindset and how important it was in your healing journey and in your manifestation journey. And going along with that, your mental health is also super important. And I make that disclaimer in the beginning because obviously mental health doesn't get the best rap. There's many people out there that struggle with this and don't have anyone to go to. So this is why I say to listen, even if it's not relatable, because you can help someone even if you don't have your daily struggles. So basically, I pretty much have felt different all my life. And I was pretty much, I would say, sad for most of my life as well. I had a lot of crying spells as well, that from what I can remember from a child all the way up until adulthood, excuse me. Um, but I feel like my mental health really didn't peak until I was in my adults and traumatic things were happening back to back. Between losing family members, between losing friendships, and just having this expectation that everyone's going to be by your side forever. No matter who you meet, they're going to be your friend. They're going to be there forever. Regardless of time, regardless of what you guys go through, they're going to be there for others forever. So I was stuck in that in my early 20s. And I feel like that kind of drove me to my peak of depression and anxiety. And I closed down myself and I shut all doors. I mean, like, I remember one summer I was in my house literally all summer. The only thing I did was go to work and come home and sleep, take care of my dogs that I had at the time, and that was it. Um, I had frequent call outs from work, just making any excuse that I could. I would blame my anxiety, which some days it would be very, very bad to where I was just like, I can't go in. Like, I just know something's going to happen. And I was just super paranoid. And obviously, I'm safe, but it just, this is what I mean about mental health and why we need to talk about it, because I can sit here and tell you guys that I go through these things and I'm healing from them, but I still struggle with them on a daily basis. Um, and that's also one thing that I still struggle with, is having the anxiety before going to work. Even though I know it's a safe space, I know that I'm okay, but I still have the paranoia. I still have the anxiety of, like, just whatever the day may bring. I don't know. It's there. I still struggle with depressive episodes. Um, but I've learned to be able to kind of not put it on the back burner, but kind of put it to the side and still go about my day and make space at the end of the day to feel the feelings and work through the problems and work through the depression and work through the anxiety. Um, and that's why it's important to understand yourself and start healing, so you can help yourself through these dark moments. So back to my early 20s, I was very just lost, and also naive to the world and to friendships, relationships, all of that. And I basically like was living life like on a high. Like I was just high off life and I just was excited. I was out in the world. I was making money. I was a brand new medical assistant. So I was making money from not having money growing up to now making money and having that and being able to take care of myself. Like I was just going nuts. I was literally just going nuts. And I was making friendships based on what I could do for them or based on like partying. And it's just not a good hole to go down because it just triggers a lot for you. And well, not for you, but it triggered a lot for me, excuse me. Because I got to a point where I was partying every single weekend. And in the middle of being like drunk and having a time, I would just like immediately shut down and like start getting depressed. Like start having this spiral of like, this isn't the person that I am. This isn't the place that I want to be at. I'd much rather be at home with my dogs. I don't want to be drunk. I don't want to feel like this whole spiral. But I would force myself to just keep partying and keep doing it because at the time, like it's already too late. You've already established these relationships with these people. You've already become good friends with these people. Like they already know so much about you. Like you can't give up now. And that's the type of person I am. Like I just don't give up. And so that didn't help my mental health. Um, and so that's why that summer I closed all doors. I shut everyone out. I didn't go anywhere. That was my probably my most severe depressive episode where I literally just went to work and that was it. I slept. And that was the worst part. And then during that time, um, in my early 20s, I lost my grandmother and she was my best friend. And when I say best friend, I mean like this woman, we talked every single night. It didn't matter what it was about, if it was the same stories or if it was new stories or if it was stories from when I was a child or whatever it was, we talked every single night. And I visited her every week. She made my favorites every week for dinner, and which would be like French toast or salmon. Mostly French toast and salmon because that was my favorite. She would make other things, but that was always my favorite for her to make. But once she passed, that was man, I I don't really know how to explain it without getting too emotional, but that was very dark. Um, I felt like I lost my person. I felt like I didn't have any will to go on. Excuse me. And so that's what really motivated me to um, find a reason to keep going, to heal myself, because I knew that staying in that dark place isn't going to do any good for anybody or myself. And I can't base my entire living and my entire goals on someone who's gone or who's present. Like I have to live for myself. And so that was really hard for me to come out of because my entire life it was me and her. Um, Everything was for her and everything was about her. And when she was gone, I felt like my entire life was gone. And so I really had to pick myself up and make a life for myself and make a name for myself because I took pride in my relationship with her and a lot of people know that. Excuse me, sorry guys. Ooh, I knew this one was going to be hard. um so this is why I really stress mindset, keeping people around that support um your journey and your goals and can help you through your journey. And don't hold yourself to those people to get better. Don't hold yourself to those people to basically live your life. You have to live for yourself. You have to make a story of your own. It's okay to keep those people along the way and to have them motivate you, but it can't be your sole purpose in life. And that's what I learned with losing her and losing my person. So with that being said, I'm very thankful for the people that were there at that time that took those phone calls and helped me through those panic moments. Thankful to my family that also helped in those moments, that took me into their homes and let me stay for as long as I needed to during those dark times. That gave me advice, that just showed me a lot of love. I'm very thankful to have really great people in my life. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional, guys. But yeah, I'm thankful and appreciative. So that's pretty much the darkest moments of my depression that I could tell you guys. And of course, like I said, I still struggle daily with not going to those places and letting that take over, because now I have too much to live for. Um, I mean, I just started this great podcast, which I think is super cool, and I've been really wanting to do that for a long time. And I have my nail business and my clients. I adore them so much. I adore my art. I'm able to express myself now. I feel like I'm able to actually make a name for myself. Sorry, I need to get some water. But basically being able to heal and going through this journey, I'm able to now have those things and live for those things in those moments, instead of one sole person, which I'm not trying to say that that's a bad thing on my grandmother's part in our relationship, but it also opened my eyes that I was holding on to someone that wasn't going to be here forever. No one's here forever. We're all temporary, even myself. So it's up to us to make use of that time that we have while we are here temporarily, and not base it on one sole person, one sole thing. Make it multiple things. Make it things that you're excited about to wake up to every morning. And it doesn't have to be a business. It doesn't have to be a podcast. It doesn't have to be that. It could literally be a simple, I'm a coffee head, you guys. So every day when I wake up in the morning, my first thought is I can't wait to have coffee. So if that's what you have to live for, like, I'm with you on that, okay? I'm on that train because I have that thought, and I have that intention every single morning. Like, it's a must. I have to have my coffee. And it's so funny because I was talking to my mom the other day about this. One second. Because she also is a coffee person. And I was telling her, I was like, Mom, I've been drinking coffee since I was 13. And she was like, Yeah, I know. I was having you make it for me and you were sneaking in those sips. And I was like, how did you know? And she's like, come on, like, mom knows everything, you know? She's like, I just know, like, I just know. And then she was like, and plus you were always enthusiastic about making my morning cup of coffee. And so 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 it's just funny. So like I said, if that's what you have to make your motivation for the day, make it as simple as that. So but um on the positive side, I'm thankful that I was able to have those moments because it's brought me to where I am now. And I'm not trying to say that, like, it happened overnight. I mean, like, this has been years of work. I think my grandma passed away in 2015, I believe, or 2016, somewhere around there. And so that was the last, like, dark episode that I was just explaining to you guys. That was the last time that I really had to, like, pull myself out and get my shit together. Like, that was the last time that things got really bad. But since then, I've been on this journey of healing myself and understanding myself so that I don't get that dark. I don't succumb myself to those feelings and to those emotions again. And I'm not saying that I don't have that. I'm not trying to say that I'm healed. I'm not trying to say that I don't struggle, because I still have my moments, you guys. Excuse me. So that's why it's important to heal. That's why it's important to understand yourself, to understand that inner child. And once you start understanding that inner child, you'll know that inner teenager. That inner teenager is super important. The inner teenager is going to tell you so much information about yourself, about your past trauma, about your mindsets, about how you think about things, about how you view the world. Like that teenager is going to be raging. And once you get there, like I'm not there yet, but I've heard stories about the inner teenager. And I mean, it's just like any normal teenager on the street. They have a lot of things to say and nobody wants to listen. So they do it in other ways. So that inner teen is going to give us a lot of information. So I'm excited to get to that point in the healing journey. So this is why I really stress mindset and the inner child, because those tools that I use were things that I used as a kid when I was when I was just feeling sad. As a kid, I didn't have a word to explain it. There was no word for it. So the best way I can explain the feeling of when I felt as a child was sad. And so the tools that I use now are the things that I was using as a child: reading, journaling, art, music, singing, which I'm fucking terrible at, but I'm Beyonce and nobody can tell me otherwise. Okay. That's how much I love singing and how confident I know that I can sing. And so I just have to keep those things in mind when I'm feeling sad and in those moments. And when I'm feeling anxious, I have to remember that I'm safe and that I'm surrounded by people that are keeping me safe and love me. And there's really no reason to worry. So um I have faith in you guys. If you are struggling, I want you to know that you are not alone. Like I say in every other episode, you are not alone. Um, I have been there and I still am there. Um, I understand what you're going through. You are seen, you are appreciated, you are heard, you are loved so much. And just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It might look like it's draw small, but it's a light. Okay, it's a light. So just keep that in mind, guys. Definitely keep moving forward. Yeah, I kind of, I don't know where to go from there, you know. But you know, I just want to be encouraging and you know, if and those of you that stayed through this and listened, I appreciate you. Um, and I hope that you're able to learn and take away from this and listen to someone else's story, listen to someone else's struggles and not humble yourself, but just kind of just understand and be empathetic to someone else, because then you'll have a better understanding that we're all going through something and no problem is greater than your problem, you know? So, and treat people with kindness always. I love you guys and thank you so much for being here again and listening, everyone. Um, I'm sorry I got emotional and I hate to apologize, but I'm also embarrassed. So,
There's nothing
but
to be
hey,
embarrassed about.
thank you. But hey, this is Sundays with Shay. We're raw and we're real here, like we wanted to be in the beginning. So this is where we're at now. So I'm excited, and I will see you guys next week. I'll have something more positive and uplifting. But thank you for listening as always, and thank you to my friends and family that were there in the past and the dark times, and that have stayed with me until now. I really appreciate you guys.
I want to thank you for being as courageous as you are to share this with us. That takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of inner strength. And so I want to thank you for that. And share this with a friend, you guys. Share it with people. It will help them. Again, thank you very much, Shay. I really, really appreciate you and your honesty and being who you are. So that was
Thank you,
Sundays with
John.
Shay, you guys. Oh, you're welcome. That was Sundays with Shay, you guys. Please share with a friend, and we'll be back to see you again next week. Thank you very much for being with us, and we will talk to you soon.